Hello, good evening from London. It's Yogi here. I hope you're well. And wherever you are, I hope you're enjoying having a great day. And today, this is the piece I'm going to be working on today. This is dry flowers rather, and this is from an artist. I had this pattern for a while, but I just never really looked up the name of the author. So today I'm going to tell you exactly who it is. It's by an artist called Kim Jacobs. So I have a couple of other pieces from the same artist, but for some reason I just didn't look up the artist's name. So this is a beautiful piece, and so I'm going to show you the full mock-up here. If you've never seen this piece before, it's absolutely beautiful. Look at this glory, dry flowers, and in a beautiful, I wouldn't say it's a green room, but it's just a room that you prepare dry flowers. I'm thinking this is autumn, so you collect all the fresh flowers and then turn them and preserve them into dry flowers. It's absolutely whimsical. And there's a little cat on the chair there as well, in case you haven't noticed. It's a common theme of the projects I have. I just cannot resist little cats in the design. And it's a beautiful scene here. And just to give you a summary of the specs, of this project. So this is Heaven and Earth design, and let me just quickly show you what I'm working with here. So this is the entirety of the piece here. So this is a mini piece actually, but we all know mini doesn't really mean mini. When it comes to Heaven and Earth, this will still take me some time to complete, if at all. Well, fingers crossed. I'm optimistic. So this is how far I've gone so far. I've only started this project maybe beginning of this year, maybe January, February, when I embarked on the 10 stitch sort of research, so to speak. I wanted to know whether I enjoy 10 stitches. Prior to this, I was primarily doing full cross, a lot of 1/1. So in terms of progress of this piece, 4%, 4.34% at this point. Not too shabby, considering I've just started this project earlier this year. And for some reason, I put in 3 stitches today. There's some loose stitches I just wanted to tidy up. So this is where I'm going to start today and see how far I can go for today's session. So I hope you're stitching with me. If not, I hope you enjoy watching me stitching. Okay, so this is 22 count Aida, and I'm doing 10 stitches, as I said, 2 strand over 1 stitch. So it's slightly bigger than 25, and but you can see the stitches are nice and full with the CXC floss. So I'm not using DMC for this one. CXC is perfect for half stitches because they're really full body, so it provides really good coverage if you're worried that 10 stitches are not going to cover the sort of fabric that well. CXC is definitely a great choice. So let me just quickly look at the chat here. Hey Gayla, hello, happy Sunday indeed, GMB. And Carla, hello Carla, from South Africa, beautiful. And she says, I'm so excited to catch you live. You have absolutely inspired me to stitch all the pieces. Exactly, all of them. That's the key. That's the key. Not one, but all. Okay. Beautiful. Welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. And so as I've zoomed in a little bit here, let me just adjust my fabric. And I'm going to bring up the little, maybe I can make it a little bit smaller. Bring up the markup here for you as a reference. It's a beautiful piece. It's a kind of design you want to stitch all year long, because you just, make you feel good. The color scheme is very sketch-like, so it's perfect for half stitches. So here we go. So I'm slightly low on the 26 size needle. So a while ago it was the shortage for 28, now it's 26. I can never have enough needles. So hopefully I'll free up some needles from my thread organizer, and everything will be okay. So with my needle minder there. And if you're working with me today, then pop in and let me know what you're working on. I'm always curious about what the viewers are working on. And by the way, the method of choice today. So I'm going to be stitching block by block and one row at a time, because I've had projects that I do the staircase parking method. But this one, I'm not doing the color complete because of the body of the thread. I find it's easiest, and you get sort of really nice and flat stitches when you do it row by row. So you don't get into the situation that you have to push the needle through, which is no fun to stitch, not for me. So I modify the method of, the stitching method based on the project I'm working on, and that's the best. So I'm not married to any particular method. I try them all, and if I like them all, I'm going to do them all. That's basically my philosophy. So what I'm going to do is to work from the top. That's my plan today. Work from the top row by row, complete a block, and then move down. So you can tell that this is not a uniform diagonal staircase. So I sometimes jump back and forth. So I get to switch to different color groups so I don't get fatigue. I do that from time to time, but I do my best to stick with the diagonal shape. So here we go. Power stitching stuff. Yeah. So, and it's been a really busy day for me. If you don't know, I teach yoga, so weekends normally is the actually busiest days. For some reason, Wednesday is also quite busy as well, for some reason. So, but I had such a great time today teaching my Sunday morning class. It was really strong class, and the Sunday morning class is where I can really be a little bit more experimental in terms of the sequences I teach, because a lot of times you want to keep it really relatively well. I like to think all my classes are accessible to all levels, but sometimes you rein it back a little bit just in case people feel intimidated or alienated because they can't do certain things. So, but Sunday morning is when I can go all out because I know the students quite well. I know they come to my classes for a good challenge. So I want to give them options to push further. So from here already, I can already spot there might be a thread, there's a duplicate there. So what I'm going to do is to part this one downwards and see what happens. There might be duplicate of the same color within the same block there. So I cannot remember what I did in the last session for that to happen, or in fact I'm going to just end it so to avoid the confusion there. So I'm going to just end this right here, and the thread ending method is to tuck, to anchor the thread downwards about 10 stitches below, and then just snip it off. So Gayla GMB says, I'm stitching Old Scully block by block. Okay, are you doing color complete, and are you parking with a block? I presume that you do. And I'm gonna work in order. So the next 2 stitches, I need to introduce a new thread here. So I'm going for number 318. 318. And majority of my needles are being parted on the organizer, and the advantage is it's already threaded, so I don't have to find the thread and thread the needles. So that's the advantage. You do go through a lot of needles, tons of them. So this is a method you can really calm the mind and doing 1 stitch at a time, because this is not something that you want to power stitch through, charge through. You want to be methodical and mindful with the stitches so they come out nice and flat. Just like yoga. And then I'm going to bring this down and do 1 more stitch here. I might bring in my pencil here because the lines are getting a little bit faint to see. So with this piece, I just use regular pencil here and trust the line will be covered. Fingers crossed. With larger stitches, with Aida, I very often use fabric pen, which is ink based, but it runs a little bit, so it's not the best thing to use when a fabric count, the stitch count goes a little bit higher. So I'm going to part down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I might run into the threads, the end threads here, but it should be fine. 1, 2, 3, 4 up as well. Worth counting because I get it wrong sometimes. Good, that's where it is. This is such a beautiful piece. And I feel guilty, never, try to look up the artist's name. I know you know. It's Kim Jacobs. Color by color. Okay, color complete. That makes sense. Drink of choice tonight. I've got half a cup of black coffee left over from earlier on, and I'm also drinking a can of Diet Coke because this is another hot day in London. We don't get these that frequently. I enjoy it, but it's still hot. nevertheless. So a spot of Diet Coke hits the spot, which is perfect. And I'm going to park it over here. Hey Sarah, good afternoon. Hello. Sarah's working on the Pilgrim from Long Dog Samplers. Oh, that sounds very interesting. I might have a quick Google afterwards. Very nice. Welcome, Sarah. I can't believe I hadn't worked on this piece for over 10 days. Where has time gone? So I don't really have a sort of rota or plans as such. I just pick the one I enjoy and start stitching for that day. So, and considering how many pieces I've got going on, you know, sometimes certain pieces just have to wait a little bit longer. But the great thing about having like a whole bunch of projects that you kind of go through is every single piece when you get to stitch it feels so fresh. So you're not forcing yourself to work on any particular piece, you know, out of obligation or guilt. Sometimes a guilt trip. These colors are just so earthy. And I'm going to do this one as well. So I allow myself to do stitches of the same color or maybe a different color if there's already a stitch on top of the stitch, if that makes sense. So I'm allowed to stack the stitches even though technically I'm going row by row. So this is the rule I learned from, I think it was Needle Ninja. I hope she'll come back to YouTube very soon. I haven't seen any new content for a little while. It's always a joy watching her. And 160. 160. This book is super big. 160. I've got it here. Hi Rose. Hello, good afternoon. How civilized it's 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. over here in London. And I'm always slightly envious when I hear some of you, it's still daytime. You still I have a little bit more of Sunday left. More than me. Gonna move down. There's one more over here. Ah, Rose says it's 12:20. Now you're just showing off now in in California. Oh wow. Your day has practically just started. Very nice. Just one stitch here, and I'm going to end this thread as this is the last stitch of this color in this neighborhood. And anchor it down here. Lovely. Already I've done close to 3 rows. Half stitches just so fast. It's a joy. Hello, Janelle. Good morning. Wow. Janelle is saying good morning. I suspect it's still AM where she is. She's the winner so far. There you go. It's always fascinating when we're almost dark, almost completely dark here. Still a little bit of light outside. And then you have people greeting each other, good morning. It's just the way it is. I'm going to park it down here. But our daytime is getting longer. I think the longest day, in terms of daylight, I can't remember when, maybe sometime, is it July or August? And then it's all downhill from there. It's gonna get shorter and shorter. In fact, I haven't done these 2 stitches, so I'm gonna do that. 844, 844. So 844, I've got one threaded already. So let me just pull that off. $5:20 a.m. Wow, where are you, Janelle? Not your home address. No, don't give me your home address. Just roughly, which part of the world, which state, if you're in the US? 5:20. Wow. And then we have one down here. Snip off this bit. Australia. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. It's the opposite. What's the temperature like in Australia? Isn't it the opposite? So if it's summer over here, does that mean it's cold in Australia? Let me bring this down here. Oh, good question. Is it Sunday or Monday morning? If it's Monday morning, then yeah, you're way ahead. I suspect is still Sunday. One, two, and three. Maybe I should remove these little tails before I do any more parking, so they don't start to fight with each other. So I suppose you can say this is a slight disadvantage of using this thread ending method. It will run into part thread from time to time, but the only alternative I have is actually pin stitch, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I do it from time to time, but I don't like the pimples that kind of scatter everywhere. It's just a very personal thing. So I'm gonna just park it here. So with each row, I tend to start with part thread. From left to right or right to left, doesn't matter. And stitch all the part threads first, and then whatever's remaining, then I introduce new threads to complete the row. Not always, but that's kind of general rule. And then I'm going to park it over here. Janelle says today's raining and oh, it's winter here. Wow. Okay, it hasn't occurred to me. It's been as low as -4 in Australia. I thought it was warm all year round. -4. Are we talking about Celsius or Fahrenheit? Wow, that sounds really cold. 12.3 degrees. So today's relatively mild. I saw Australia was always warm. So it's perfect for you to stitch Christmas pieces. It's perfect weather for that. Let me put this over here. So this method of stitching, a lot of it is the thread management, the part thread management. And this is just one stitch here of 452. 452. 452. Let's pick one straight here. Just one stitch. Hi, diamonds and things. I like your name. Welcome. Diamond says that's a very pretty stitch. Yes, this piece is just gorgeous. And I just love the sort of slightly sketchy, sort of sketch-like style, which is perfect for half stitches. So you get that really subtle, slanted lines. I'm going to do a, oops, I'm going to do a loop start. There you go. Just one stitch, and I'm going to anchor it down here to end the thread, because there, oh, actually I overlooked the fact that I have to decide whether to take it down beyond 10 stitches, because as the thread will run through the back, which if you do that a lot, meaning that the back is going to build up with a lot of threads, you're going to end up with very thick back, and probably make it slightly harder to stitch as well. But I think I'm going to park it down here. That's not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one over here, it's 2 from the left, right there. It's not too bad. And then 3, 7, 8, 7. 3, 7, 8, 7. I've got one threaded. Ooh, not anymore. I just pull a thread out of the needle. So with this one, Got 2 stitches here. And then I'm going to park it down. And from here, remember to mark the stitches. And 934, 934. Just a couple of stitches here. 934. This beautiful dark green here. Diamond says, new here, do you have a video on parking? Well, so if you look up my live streams, I don't have tutorial kind of specifically for parking, but if you watch quite a few projects I have, including this one, I use different methods for different pieces, and a lot of them involve parking of some kind. So sometimes it's the cross country with parking, or staircase with parking. And in this piece, it's kind of staircase parking, block by block, but row by row, with the stitching within the block as well. So different combination. And I tend to talk through what I'm doing, so you should be able to pick up quite a lot of information. So this one here, and then 2 down from here. 1, 2, and then here. So this block actually has not a words confetti, but quite a few sort of different colors and shades involved. As you can see, the more pass thread you have probably indicates it's just more color changes. So I think one row at a time really helps, so you're not overwhelmed. You're welcome, Diamonds. One, two, up from here. and then 4 from the right. So maybe one more. 3, 4, 5. This piece is just perfect for Sundays. Lovely and peaceful, and it's so beautiful as well. Because some days you're kind of looking for more bright colors, like the piece yesterday, just full of, you know, really vibrant colors. But some days you just want something that's earthy, like this one. One, two. So Heaven and Earth Mini, obviously the size is smaller, but I think the number of colors, they're very close to regular size. I think regular size and minis, they have about the same number of, let me just count, 1, 2, 3, 4. They have about the same number of colors, most of them. So if you think about what that means, is that even though mini is smaller in size, but it might involve more color changes, more confetti in theory, because it's using same number of colors for a smaller piece. So this one is only 1 stitch left, and I'm going to end it down here. So I tend to end the thread about 10 stitches away until I get to the bottom 2 rows. Then I start to anchor it down 1 block further down, so it doesn't build up too much bulk, hopefully. And this one, 9:30, I can pop it back. So let me check how many colors this one has. Let me just quickly pop back to the PDF. It's got 90 colors. So I think if you go for the regular version of this piece, it's probably about the same number of colors involved. So in theory, if you want less confetti, then go for the regular. So, you know, mini size doesn't mean it's necessarily easier to stitch. 3861, 3861. And this particular piece, I don't believe there is a matte color version. I don't know how they determine when to produce a max color or super size and when not to. Probably they just selectively, if it's a popular piece, they might produce more versions. Because I think majority of Amy Stewart's artwork have all versions because they're quite popular. And one down here. So 2 more stitches here. I need to introduce new threads. So this is the kind of the order I tend to work. 3 740, 3 740, so I do all the part threads. So clear the way and then I introduce new threads. But having said that, I've seen people when they work row by row parking, they still want to work in order. So if the first stitch has a part thread, they work on that. And if the stitch after that needs a new thread, they'll just do it, even though there are more part threads on the same row. So it's individual preference there. Oh, Janelle says they do it on request. I presume she's referring to the different version and sizes. Oh, do they do it on demand? I see. And do they charge for it? Do they charge? Well, I suppose they charge for the pattern, but is there any additional charges? That's very interesting. Park it down here. And this one only has 1 stitch, I think. And then there's 2 blocks away. 3371. 3371. Luckily, I've got one threaded already. Just 1 stitch here. So yes on additional charge. Well, fair enough. But I think if they produce it once, they can pretty much publish it, can't they? Because they already have that version. I'm trying to think, with 1 single stitch, do I do a pin right here to anchor it? So this is what I normally do with half stitches if I can't do loop, meaning that I'm using a piece of leftover, not leftover piece, but the one that I've already done loop stitch with. Then I'll just do a kind of a pin stitch and then stitch over it. It's not the prettiest way of doing it, but it works. And you can't really tell I've stitched that one twice. And it's pretty secure, quite secure. Just 1 stitch, 3371. Let me take a sip of my Diet Coke. Ah, so after that, it's up for everyone. Interesting. So if just one person requests something that doesn't have, let's say, super size, and once they produce that, they charge, well, I suppose they charge a small fee for that. And then they can publish that for everyone. Huh. Interesting system. So technically, you can have a supersized version of this one if you wish to, from the sound of it. Hi, is it Ari? Have I pronounced it correctly? Hello with triple O. Yes. Hello to you. Welcome. Oh, YouTube recommended me to your channel. Amazing. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you. Algorithm, the magic of algorithm. I don't really know how people found me because I've only been around this channel probably slightly over 2 months. And for some reason, people find me. How amazing. I'm so grateful. The magic of YouTube. And also, I know some people recommended my channel on some Facebook groups, apparently. I'm not on Facebook, so I have no idea. But apparently, people recommended my channel, so I'm really, really grateful. One more here. Ari says, I'm so happy I found you. Oh, you do embroidery? And you love my voice. How nice. How kind of you. That's very, 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 very kind for you to say that. I'm really happy you found me as well. I stream every day so I can keep you company when you stitch. I'm going to bring it down. 1, 2, 3, 4 from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So let me know what you're working on, Adri. And I have to say, I've learned so much since I started this channel, just by chatting with you. Because some of you have been stitching much longer than I have. I've only discovered full coverage, you know, this form of cross stitching, maybe close to a year into COVID. So I'm thinking 2001 sometime around there. Prior to that, I was just doing small pieces of samplers, you know, for fun. I'm doing this for fun as well, but this is, you know, this requires, it's a little bit more involved. And since I started stitching full coverage, I'm so addicted to it because normally I do all sort of projects. I knit, I do a bit of felting. I like to try everything. And I always kind of just cycle through these things. If I get bored of one thing, I move on to the other. But for some reason, stitching, I'm just stuck here in a good way. I just don't want to leave. So that one is done. Oh, Audrey says I'm doing some lupins. I have no idea what it is. And she says I'm pretty new, I presume referring to cross stitching. I started on December, but it has been addictive. I know, very addictive. And it's not just the stitching itself, it's that whole organization of, how you set up your project, the type of, how you organize your threads. It's a whole shebang. It's a whole thing. Rose says, I started full coverage less than a year ago. Wow. Amazing. And how did you discover full coverage, I wonder? I'm trying to recall. I think I just fell into it because I used to buy cross-stitching kits. So they tend to be quite small. If you think about dimension goal, which they're a little bit bigger compared to regular dimension, that type of stuff. And I enjoy them. And for some reason, I went on, I saw something on Amazon and ended up buying sort of 14 counts. They are ultimately full coverage, but I had no idea that's what they were. I just knew that the piece was larger and it was covered with stitches all over. I didn't have a name for it. I knew it was probably going to be more challenging, and I was up for a challenge. And since I got that piece, because it was a lot more intricate, and I was trying to figure out what method should I do it so I don't get overwhelmed. And probably through that, I discovered the whole world of full coverage, and I had a name for it, even though I just didn't know there was a thing. I saw cross stitch is just cross stitch. And yeah, so I kind of fell into this rabbit hole ever since. Haven't got out yet. I'm still in there. So Audrey says, are you my sister from another mother? Because I love knitting, spinning yarn, crochet. Oh, I love them all. I love them all. Yes, everything to do with fiber arts. Yes, absolutely. I just love, if you look at the pieces I select for my projects, for my cross-stitching projects, so many pieces are to do with quoting, quote room, craft room, that kind of stuff. I'm just drawn to that so much. And I find so much comfort just looking at images of craft room, sewing machines, fabric, cushions, all that. Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't know if I'm your long lost sister, but maybe we can be stitching sisters, something along those lines. I know, it's amazing to find like-minded people. And there's so many people are so into it, and it's amazing. And Rose says, I watched other YouTubers stitching them. I went to Hayside. Oh, wow. I was stunned. I was stunned for after that. Similar experience because I saw someone stitching this piece, which I ended up buying as well, the quilt room, the patchwork quilt room. And I think the lady was stitching in 14 counts. And I thought, whoa, that thing, what pattern was it? I thought, you know, I thought it was a kit. So I commented on under the video and asked for, you know, where can I buy this beautiful design? And she told me that she kitted it up herself. And I was floored. I didn't even know you can do that. I thought all cross-stitching projects come in a cross-stitching kit. And yes, and follow her pointer. I went to Head and Earth design site, and that was it. That was pretty much it. You know, I just did a full cross without knowing. It's just automatic. I just did a full cross there. Never mind. I don't think you can see it. That is actually a full cross right there. I was just busy talking. Oh, let me see if I can pick it up. It's just automatic. Oh, I've forgotten there. I was doing half stitches. There you go. Crisis averted. And one more stitch here. And there's one more I can do. And I'm going to pop it down here. Oh, Gayla says, yes, fabric artist, I quote, I crochet, I rock, oh, rock hook. Wow, that sounds interesting. And cross stitch. So, Adri, you found two sisters right here. Okay. I think Gayla is related to you as well. I know, it's amazing. And rock hook. Wow. I should follow a rock maker on Instagram. And they do it professionally, obviously, but it's just interesting to see these. They have a group of kind of older ladies. I don't know which country, maybe Italy or Spain. I can't remember. And these ladies are so skilled. They've probably been doing it for God knows all their lives, and they do it so fast. And they stitch. They sew with really, really thick yarn. And I don't know, it must hurt the fingers at some point. They're doing it so fast, they will stitch like an entire rug. Not small rug, but really big pieces and really intricate design as well. It's just amazing skill they have. And this one I'm going to end as well. going to pop it back 160. So 160 here. So normally what I do is if I have leftover thread here, I just push back and just leave it there. Till next time. And then here. One stitch here, and then two, 1, 2, and park. And have a sip of my coffee. One, two. And we park around here. I think this is kind of stitching method that if you're not used to parking, or some people just don't like the idea of parking, this is like the worst nightmare for you. I apologize. This is good fun though, but I understand that you know, parking's not for everybody, but it's worth giving it a go. If you tried it, you didn't like it, maybe try again. It's great fun. And we do row by row, all the stitches just come out really nice and tidy. Because if you do color completion, which sometimes people do within a block, a lot of times when it comes to the last few stitches, you kind of have to jam your needle through, particularly with floss, you know, threads like CXC. They're really full. So it might be a little bit faster if you do color completion, but it's all about stitching experience, isn't it? It's that moment by moment, stitch by stitch experience. And I don't like it when it's really tight, you know, thick at the back. So I pick my method accordingly. So I'm going to introduce a new thread here, 154, and I've got one threaded already. Yay. So here we are. Okay. I'm going to do a quick pin stitch through the center there to anchor the thread, and then stitch over it. There you go. And then one more below. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to park it down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. So at times, because of the end thread as well, it looks slightly messy, but there's a certain order into this madness, and it works out most of the time. 99.99% of the time. Hey Grace, hello Grace, how are you? And Kelly, hello Kelly. Kelly says, I'm stitching on the Library of Dogs Max Color artwork by Amy Stewart. Which one is that? I love Amy Stewart. I've got many pieces from her. The Library of Dogs. I'm thinking maybe I have seen someone stitching recently. Is it a new piece? I'm gonna have to do some Googling in a bit. There are a couple of things I want to know. I always like to know what you're stitching on. Just one stitch with this one here. I love Amy Stewart. Her artwork is just made of dreams. And so I'm down to the final 2 rows or 3, and from this point on, when I end thread, I'll take it 1 block below. So that's kind of the general rules here, so it doesn't start to run into. Just give those stitches enough sufficient space to be kind of stitched down. Just make double sure. And I'm going to cut this off. Let me have a quick Google here. So there are a couple pieces I'd like to know. Amy Stewart, what is it called? Dogs, Library of Dogs. I think I know which piece that is. Let me just make sure, and I'll show it to everyone when I find it. Amy Stewart. Library. Immediately come up. Oh, this is not the piece I was thinking about, actually. This is more involved. Oh my goodness. Library of Dogs, is this correct? Let's have a look. Oh my God, I don't think I've seen this piece. Let's have a look. Let me show you. You've never seen this one before. Is this the one? I've never seen this one, actually. I was thinking about a different piece. So this is for puzzle, obviously, but I think the artwork is the same, isn't it? Let me just Google the cross stitch pattern instead, just make double sure. Wow. I've seen the books, and let me just remove this one so you can all see. Is this the one? Huh. That's a lot of details, exactly. Let me see if we can get one without the watermark. Wow, that's I've never seen this piece actually. How long has it been around? Wow. I'm glad I haven't got one with cats, because I'll probably just give in and get a pattern. This is a lot going on there. So there you go. That's Amy Stewart's. Hi, Stitchy Dutchy. Joyce is in the chat. Say hello to Joyce, everyone. So Kelly says yes. So she confirms that's the piece. Oh, Janelle has started the dog library of... Oh, so there's going to be a library of cats? No, that's dangerous. Please don't tell me that. I've got enough whips as it is. Oh my goodness, what are you doing to us, Amy Stewart? I was just joking. I was joking, saying that thank God there isn't a library of cats, because, you know, I'll definitely get it. Man, what is the lady doing to us? 645. 645. I'm gonna brace myself when it comes out. 645. I don't think I've seen this piece with dogs. Oh, how lovely. This one. Just one stitch here. And pocket down 1, 2, 3 from right. There you go. You can just remove this little tail there. Oh, actually, yes, this is my thread organizer. So it's a big book here. This one's really big because this is for CXC, and I'm lazy, so I normally just put the entire scan on the thread card. I know some people just pull a few pieces, not this girl. I just, you know, basically have the entire scan on top, you know, just put them through the holes here. So it's really, really thick. It's got all the so CXC is DMC compatible, so all the number system is the same. So I've got all the colors I need for my multiple projects here. So so I don't have to switch organizers. I just have one book. As long as it's the projects I'm using CXC, I'm using this one. So yes, it's massive. But it's really convenient because I used to have different sets of, organizers for each project, and that was difficult because you just end up having to organize so many different sets of floss. So I decided to consolidate all of them. So currently I have 3 sets. I have 1 set for CXE, the one you just seen, and I've got 1 set for DMC, and another one dedicated to Gecko Rouge. So they have their own sort of color numbering system. So, and that's it. I don't even know how many whips I've got, but I only need to keep 3 sets of floss organizer. So that's easy peasy, much easier for me. So, and from here, I'm going to move down. Everybody's waiting for the cat version coming out. Maybe when it comes out, we can all get a copy and start together on the same day. And next one's got 1 stitch left. I could park it down or end it. I haven't made up my mind. Oh, Audrey says she uses bobbins. I'm not a fan of bobbins, and particularly when you're dealing with so many different colors, it's impossibility. You just, end up spending whole day just rolling those, those threads with the bobbins. It's no fun. I think bobbins are okay if you're doing sort of projects under, I don't know, 30 colors. But majority of us probably dealing with a lot more than that. I think I'm going to end the thread. Oh no, actually I'm going to park it because it's only down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 down here. It's not too far away, not too bad. Rose is in, yes. It'll be an epic stitch along. I know it'll be just too tempting. So 1 stitch here. Another stitch at the bottom row. And I'm going to pop down 1, 2. And 1, 2. There you go. Hello, Brittany. Salutations. Brittany is from Australia as well, and I just realized it's really, really cold. in Australia. I just presume everybody is enjoying the summer. Three, one more here. And then one more stitch down here. Part. Oh, sorry, Brittany. For some reason, I got it mixed up. No, you're from Pennsylvania, of course. Why did I think you were from Australia? Okay, correction. Brittany's not from Australia, okay? And I'm going to park it down here. 1, 2. And down to the last bottom row. Not bad at all. And let me park it down here. Three, 7, 9, 9. It's one stitch here. And I'm going to park in the block below. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lovely. One block is almost completed. And this one as well, just one stitch here. And I'm going to end it. Oh, Kelly says, I use CXCI store on chip and pin hangers in one big box. What's the chip and pin hangers? I'm trying to imagine just based on the name. And I'm going to park it down here and end this, not parking, but ending the thread. There you go. 154. Just one stitch as well, but I get to park it down. So one block, another block, 1, 2, there you go. So with this one, there's one more stitch in the block below, but the thread is a little bit short. You might be able to get away with it. I think I'm going to keep it. So 1, 2. So I'm going to tease this one off. I'm going to remove all end threads here. I mean, this is probably good to do before you get to the bottom row, but I always forget to do it. So just to clear the way. Good. And now I can park it down here. And this one as well. One stitch here and I get to park down. Whoops. Gray says, I use the plastic thread holders that have 20 holes. I'm trying to imagine in my mind. Plastic thread holders, okay, have 20 holes for threads. After seeing your system, I glue a strip of felt. Yes, that's a good idea. Beneath the hole so I can now anchor a needle with extra thread for further use. Absolutely, felt is magic. Felt is magic. And Jacqueline, hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. It's going to be my slogan. She says, hi everyone, Yogi, you're such an enabler. I just purchased mini winter reading nook. Yay, my job is done. I'm a pattern pusher, okay? That's me. Yes, I'm a whip pusher, actually. Just get everybody to get multiple whips. So I don't feel that I'm on my own. I'm the weirdo here. You know, everybody's working on a single project, and here I am having like 20 going on. I just want to feel normal. Well done. That's a beautiful piece. And I was just talking about mini pieces. You know, people tend to think it's smaller, might be easier. But if you think about how many colors involved for Heaven and Earth mini piece versus a regular piece, they use about the same number of colors, very similar. So in a way, you might end up with more confetti with mini pieces. So that's your challenge. 779. I've got one part thread there. So I've got a whole basket of felt, different colors in my room. So, you know, they're really handy when it comes to thread parking or needle parking. The last one, last stitch of this block. Amazing, it's so fast. Half stitches is just amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just to make sure I park in the right place. 1, 2, 3. Hang on. 3, yes, that's where I am. 1, 2, 3. There you go. It's more fun when you have a few projects going on, so it's always fresh, right? It's like music, you know, even with your favorite musician, you occasionally want to listen to something different. Janelle says, I have 30 full coverage. Wow. Wow. I don't think I have that many, and I've got a few. I probably have about 20. No competition there. Oh my God. I feel normal. Thank you for sharing that. I'm not a crazy one. Janelle is worse. Oh, so Grace, are you stitching dry flowers as well? I got you too. Amazing. My job is done here. Jacqueline says, I'll crop some off each side. Which piece are you referring to? Because I want to do it in my lifetime. In my 85th year. Oh my. So Grace says, have you seen the movie Truman Show? Yes, I have. In that one, Jim Carrey keeps greeting neighbors like, good morning, and in case I don't see you today, good afternoon, good evening, good night. I know. Truman Show. Are we in Truman Show? I wonder. Now, Janelle, you're just showing off there. Not only you have 30 pieces, and all of them are around 30% plus. That's the important part of the statement. My goodness, how do you manage all of them? I think majority of what I've got are single digit. This one is only got 4%. Oh man, I can't win. Amazing. So this block is finished. Beautiful. And I'm trying to be good. I might just move to the block diagonally down. Just maintain that staircase shape there. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to move this bit of the part thread away and focus on this block here. Oh, I do. I sound like that greeting every time. So, yes, just in case, I like to cover my bases, you know. Just in case people go, what are you talking about? This is morning over here. Why are you saying good evening? You crazy person. So, yes. I don't know if we're actually in the Truman Show. We could be in. You never know. Maybe we wake up every morning and repeat this day. Oh no, that's Groundhog Day. A different movie. Similar though. There's some similarity there. I like movies like that. Mindbenders. Uh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, so this is where I'll probably bend my rule. Or rather, I'm going to follow Needle Ninja's rules. So there's 3 stitches, well, 2 more stitches below this green stitch. That's the same color. So in theory, if you're doing row by row, I really should park here. But Needle Ninja says that I can stitch down if there's already 1 stitch above. Okay, I'm just doing what I'm told. Okay, and follow the rules, and then I'm gonna park down here. So that should only happen if this color doesn't occur along the rest of the block within the 3 rows. So, you know, when this happens, instead of switching to this color, just do 1 stitch on each row. I'm allowed to stitch down, okay? Not my rules, it's Needle Ninja's rule. I follow a guidance. Joyce says, I don't know how many whips I've got. I can only count to 10. Oh my god, that's hilarious. So you probably have 100. You just have to count to 10 times, darling. I can only count to, I don't know. I'm terrible with numbers. I can barely remember my own phone number. Just 1 stitch here, and then I can part to the block on the right. But it's good that you can only count to 10, because what if you have 100 webs? It's going to be overwhelming. But if you just think, well, I've really only got 10 webs going on, they feel better, don't you? It's more manageable. So it's all for the better. I'm going to just park it to the left here, 4 down. Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Yes, rules are meant to be broken. Yes, absolutely. They're just there waiting for us to break them. We are sisters, darling. Absolutely. And from here to, oh, okay, I'm gonna end this thread because there's already a part thread of the same color. I'm gonna take it down. I'm going to end it. Four, 5, 2. And just one stitch as well. So I'm going to do this one. Let me see, just make sure I've stitched in the right place. Oh, actually, I'm glad I checked. This one was part one stitch off. So it's actually here. And then I'm going to bring it down here. So if you have a lot of end thread, you're going to just build up a little some fabric at the back. There's nothing you can do about it, but you know, if you do it orderly, it's still pretty stitchable. I haven't had problems so far. That's just the nature of the areas. There's more color changes. 414. Let me park it back. There you go. Really beautiful. And if you look at mock-up, this is just the beginning. There's so many flowers to all the right there on the ceiling. And then you have the beautiful windows and loads of things going on in the room. Oh, can't wait. I cannot wait. 317. It's nice stitching a beautiful dream. 317, I already have one part here. Let me just put out. And stitch here. One, two. A23. A23. I've got another threaded needle here. And I'm going to stitch this one down below, and then let me see, 1, 2. Three, 3, 7, 1. Only 2 stitches. Why do I snip these ones off? Joy says, this pattern wouldn't have caught my eye if I hadn't seen you stitching, especially not as a mini, but it's so beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. I think this pattern is definitely underrated. I think majority of people probably don't even know this this pattern existed. It's not one of those, you know, most stitched pieces, but it's so beautiful. Definitely look up Kim Jacobs. I've got maybe 2 other pieces from, I think it's a lady, from her, and they're equally beautiful. They've got this really kind of sketch kind of style there. It's very unique. And there's one more I'm thinking about starting. I know. It's a mini pattern as well, and I just had a look today. I'm thinking, oh my god, I so want to stitch that. It's hopeless. Three, 3, 7, 1. 3, 3, 7, 1. Black, brown. Bingo. Yes, that's Joyce's superpower right there. She can name a thread. Well, if you call out a number, she knows not only what color it is, also the name, the actual name of the thread as well. I know. I'm not worth it. 9, 3, 4. Nice. 9, 3, 4, Joyce. 9, 3, 4. And oh, I'm stitching out of order already. I'm already bending rules. I can feel it. Because it's got a nice little block here of the same color. And I'm tempted just to fill in this area rather than doing in order. Because I can. So 1, 2. me just have a look. There's 3 more at the bottom. Why not? I'm going to stitch that one again. It looks a little bit weird, this one. It's not the prettiest half stitch, but I'll live with that. Oh, see you later, Audrey. Thanks for dropping by. Yes, definitely come back to join us. Have a great rest of the day. I'll catch you later. Good night. Nighty night. Three 031. Three 031. It's a lovely greenish brown. Just one stitch here. Let me see if I can part down. So my first choice for this method would be parking down first. If there's nothing, no stitches there, I'll part to the right. And if there's also nothing on the right, sometimes if it's close enough, I'll part diagonally down to the left as well. So it really depends. So I make a judgment call. Depends on where the next stitch is, and if not, I end it. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 from the left, 1 2 3 4, and part there. Okay, so this one I'm going to leave it there. Oh, let's have a look. What's going on there? So, okay, I'm gonna move down here. Let me double check. I do have some part threads here, but they're not marked. How peculiar. 1, 2, 3. Okay, they are marked. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what happens when I don't mark my pass threads properly. Forget to do it. Okay, so that one is that one. There. And I'm going to pocket 1 stitch below. One, 2, 3. Quite a few color changes here. And 1, 2, 3 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1. Next one. And 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 from the left. One, 2, 3. And 1 below. Right, so what I'm going to do, because there are 2 stitches left here on this block, let me just draw the boundary a little bit clearer here. It's going quite fadey. So I'm leaving the last 2 stitches here because he is using a color of a thread I've already parted on the right. So instead of adding another thread of the same color just for the sake of it, I'm going to just stitch those first so I can complete the block on the left. So it's using the same color there. So from time to time, I'll cheat like this. This is your project. You stitch however you want. You want to bend the rules, you bend the rules. So the rules are there to create structure and, you know, to make things more efficient. So if you run into a situation that is no longer beneficial, you're just following the rules for the sake of it. I mean, if it feels good to, you know, be strict and do so, but a lot of times really, you know, if there's no benefit in doing so. So in theory, I should introduce a new thread just to stitch these two and part down or somewhere. But I know there's a perfectly good part thread just right next to it. So there's no reason not to just go ahead and stitch it. I'm crossing over to this block. And then I am going to take the thread over here and part down. So the first 4 stitches from the next block, which I'm not stitching right now, are being stitched because I wanted to use that color. So there you go. I'm gonna move these part threads away. Oh, hello. Let me see if I can pronounce it. Bicamry. Is that correct? Bicamry. Says, hi, I'm a college student and I'm loving watching while I'm doing work. Oh, wonderful. That is great. And Joy says, a bit the same with Royal Rolls. Let me know which bit you're referring to, Joyce. Ah, yes. I know what you mean. Being a rebel. Just break rules. Oh, Bicamry says yes. Oh, that's wonderful. I hope you enjoy watching. Maybe we'll help you to calm the mind a little bit. Because what I find is sometimes having a bit of, I wouldn't say distraction, but having something kind of going parallel from what you're trying to focus actually allow you to be more focused. Because I do have issues with you know, focusing on something and do it, but for some reason stitching allows me to just sit down for hours sometimes, just do it without feeling like I'm fidgeting or having to do something else to distract myself. I mean, occasionally I listen to, you know, podcast or I watch FlossTube, but they're not sort of there's no conflict between these two things. So I'm glad that me stitching is bringing you some calmness, so you can focus on your work. Very happy. Yes, Joyce, bending the rules. Why not? They're there. So bend them. Six, 4, 0, 6, 4, 0. Here we go. 6, 4, 0. This is beautiful grassy green here. Super Got the strand here. And I'm always happy to start a new thread because it means I can do a loop start. And then two rows down. One, two, right here. Okay, so this one just one stitch. Now I'll end it. So there's no surrounding stitches. Beautiful. 8, 2, 3. And pop it back. I always feel like a hairdresser. All the part threads. It's quite relaxing watching people having their hair cut, actually. Maybe just me. There are a lot of Instagram videos, clips of hairdressers just cutting hair. And I sometimes find myself just fixated watching how the hairs are combed and cut off. And I find myself doing that when I go to hairdresser as well. If someone next to me is having the hair cut or trimmed, I just watch. I just couldn't stop watching the hair being cut. It's very therapeutic. Good, so that one's finished as well. So this one's got, oh, I think might be just enough for two more stitches. And then one stitch here. 1, 2, 3. I think the fascination with part threads for me is that particularly when you have so many threads within this really close proximity, there's something about that with this amount of chaos, if you can see them as chaos, but as you stitch each single stitch, you're basically creating this image kind of emerge from underneath this chaos. It's a beautiful process. And I think that's why it makes me want to do more of it. You know, it's almost like ironing. You have really wrinkled sheets, bedspread, and then you just iron over it. And then this beautiful sheets, nice and flat, emerge underneath. It's therapeutic. Two more here. One more. And then I'm going to park 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's correct. Hi, Carla. How are you today? Grace says, if I only have one color to stitch, I've been cutting a small piece off the bottom of the thread bundle instead of pulling the entire thread for that one stitch. Ah, okay. Oh, I see. So if you have a part thread of the same color, you just cut off a small piece for one stitch. Oh, I never tried that. That's a good idea, rather than pulling out the entire full length thread. Ooh, I might steal that. That's a very good idea. Yes, because very often you have to pull out like a new thread and then just for that single stitch and have to pull it back. You see the wisdom of the stitches. I'm learning every day from you guys. And then I'm going to park it over here. 1, 2. Why do I have one already? How peculiar. Okay, in that case, I'll have to end this thread. It's getting a little bit crowded. Look at the entire row of end threads. That's how we row here. There you go. Oh my God, 31 Celsius. Oh my goodness. Is it daytime or was it evening and it's still 31? That's brutal, man. I think we reach 30 degree for a couple of days. Today, I don't know. Today's close. Today's the highest point is 29, but that was, only for a couple of hours. But at the moment, it's 23 Celsius. It's still pretty high considering it's 10:30. close to 10:30 over here, it's very, very warm. Because normally British evening is so that even in the summer, it would drop, the temperature would drop quite significantly in the evening. But 23 is like warm, very warm. 154, just one stitch. 154. One stitch here. And I hope you have air conditioner. Over here, I use my fan, my electric fan, because I live in a Victorian house. We don't normally have air conditioning. We have central heating, but not for cooling, if you know what I mean. So it's not like air conditioning. You can adjust different temperature. It's just for heating. Another part thread. It's going to be fun when I remove all these end threads here. A bunch of them. Ah, 2 p.m. That explains it. It's probably the hottest point of the day, from 12 to about 2 p.m. That's very hot. And particularly if it's humid as well. Wow, that's gonna be challenging if it's humid as well. So I've got one stitch here for this block in this color, and I might, I don't know. I could park diagonally to the block adjacent to it, but I'm just thinking I'm not going to be stitching this block for a little while. I don't want to leave the part thread kind of dangling there unnecessarily, so I'm going to end it. Yes, adding another end thread here. It's like a party here. Look, it's all the party goers. You're gathering down here. Nine, 3, 4. 9, 3, 4. Gonna pop it back. Ah, so you have a fan as well. That's good to know. Here we go. Another one stitch wonder here. The last stitch of this color in this area. And then join the party here. One more end thread. Right. 4, 1, 3. 4, 1, 3. Lovely. I'm going to take a sip of my Diet Coke. Oh, it's lovely. I know it's a bit naughty, the caffeine and everything. It tastes good. And tomorrow I don't have morning classes, so I'll be fine. And to be honest, if I'm tired and sleepy, there's no amount of caffeine is going to wake me up to keep me awake. I'll just go to sleep. You can't stop me. All right. 640. And I'm going to stitch the one below as well, the same color, before I park, because I can. And I'm going to park below here. And this one again is, oh, I might be able to park diagonally to the left. It rarely happens, but I think I'm going to park it at the bottom as well. Bottom left. To the block next to the left as well. Here we are. And I think, yes, I'll do one couple more rows and I'll start to take these ones off because they start to look a little bit scary. 3787, 3787, 3787. Right there. It's a little knot there. Here we go. Loop start. I think I'm going to start from the right, so it flows with the stitches. And then I think I'm going to stitch this one below. And park it over here. The camera says, if I was interested in getting into this type of stitching, how do you suggest I go about starting? So by this type of stitching, you are talking about full coverage, right? Good question. I think everyone here will probably have some advice to give you. I think if you're starting, probably start from the stitch count in terms of, what size of stitches you want to go for to start with. And well, I have to presume that you haven't done full coverage before. To be honest, I'll say 14 is a good place to start. You just get into the flow. I don't know whether you've done other types of cross stitching before. And so this is 22 counts. So it's probably harder for you to gauge because I'm really zoomed in. But if your eyes are not used to this sort of this size of fabric, it might look the stitches are going to look quite small. So 14 is probably a good place to start. And then you get to kind of get used to the sort of parking methods, depends on how you go about it. And there are many, many different methods you can go for. You can do block by block. That's where I started actually, when I first started stitching. That's the first kind of parking method that I learned. So you can start there and start experimenting. I'll say pick a smaller piece. It doesn't have to be heaven and earth. There are smaller pieces on Etsy. There's full coverage, so you still get to, get to experience in terms of how you want to organize your, sort of how you stitch, so to speak. But not get overwhelmed by the size, because the chances are, by the time you get used to maybe stitch for a little while, you probably want to go on to stitch a larger piece as a challenge. I suspect. I think most stitchers probably end up doing that. Oh, where's this part thread coming from? So yeah, I think a good start would be picking the size of the stitches you want to go for and just get with the flow. And see if you like it. The challenge, I think you will, but it's just, I think, for instance, if parking method is not for you, maybe exploring cross country, that type of thing. So you'll get to know what you like and what you don't like. So kind of getting to know yourself and in terms of what kind of stitcher you are. And, the rest will be easier. Your preferences will probably guide you in terms of what type of design and whether you want to move up in terms of, stitch counts, etc. So I hope that helped. But ultimately go in, with some playfulness. It doesn't matter if you mess up the first, I wouldn't say mess up an entire piece. Maybe in the beginning probably doesn't go as well as you think it would be, but everybody goes through that because, this is not a typical kind of cross-stitching projects people do, like samplers and stuff. It's totally different, way of stitching. So, yeah, just go in with open mind, just be playful. And ultimately, you have to enjoy the stitching. So it doesn't matter how you do it, just enjoy the stitching experience. Oh my God, Sarah's got tornado warning in the area. If I lose service, we'll have to shelter. Oh my God, is it that bad? It was a good stitching with you all day, Sarah. Please stay safe. Oh my goodness, I have no idea. Tornadoes, no joke. Yeah, find shelter, please. Stay safe. Oh man. Bicamary says, I have done very basic cross stitching so far. So cross stitching, so thank you for the advice. And I'm definitely going to look into it. Yes, and start somewhere that you feel comfortable with, and the world is yours. You know, the doors will open, possibilities open, and your projects will probably get bigger and bigger. Oh yeah, great advice from Joyce. There are a few free patterns available on Heaven and Earth. They do, yes, they do have free patterns for you to try, and they tend to be a little bit smaller. Definitely, you can start there. And get some floss together. Depends on where you are. DMC would be a safe option. CXC is really good as well. Grace says, thank you stitching with you, Sarah. That's so hardcore. Yes, you want to keep stitching in the life and death situation. Yes, you'll keep it calm and collected. Very good. Great advice, Grace. That's so funny. Oh my God. Wow, tornado. I don't think I've ever experienced one. It's got to be quite scary. Stay safe, Sarah. 6110. And definitely come back to say hello tomorrow. Otherwise, everybody's going to get worried. Wow. And keep stitching. And I'm going to part down here. One on the left. Three, 7, 8, 7. Uh, 1, 2. That doesn't look right. and 2 stitches here. And then we part it down here. Kansas. Okay, that's where Sarah is. Oh my God. Tornado Alley. My God, so you get those all the time? Man. Uh, 1, 2. Let me double check this. 1, 2. Oh, that's why. I was getting confused. I think I parted it in the wrong place. 1, 2, 3. The second one. And that one. That ends thread joining the big party here. The Cameron says she's from California and have earthquakes. Oh, earthquakes from a major fault line. My God. Yeah, I think there are quite a few earthquakes the past few years in California as well, isn't it? Wow, that's mighty scary. Oh my God. Grace says, my granddaughter lives in Texas and also deals with tornado warnings. She wants me to move there to live in earthquake area of California. I'm not sure which one's better of the two. Oh my God. What about the third choice? Where's the third choice? Is there anywhere that doesn't have natural disasters on a regular basis? 80 to 90 tornadoes a year? Wow, that's like every day, every few days. My goodness. Yeah, I think Grace, you need a third choice. I mean, UK occasionally we have flooding, but not a great deal of natural sort of disasters. No earthquake. Occasionally you have the hurricane, but nothing major. We're more likely to have like terrorism kind of things, each to their own. We all have our cross to bear. Right, I am going to introduce another color here, 612. There you go. Oh, so Gray says hours in the Netherlands are rather safe, but then again, parts of the country is below sea level. Do you have like tsunami or flooding or stuff like that? Yeah, I don't think I ever heard of some Netherlands being sort of under some sort of natural disaster situation. Grace, maybe Netherlands is a choice. Do you have option to go there instead? And I might stitch this one as well because I can. And then part it down here, one row down. A40, A40. Oops. A40. Grace says she's on the way. Oh my god. Oh man. It just feels like countries like Netherlands, Norway, and places like that. You never hear of any crime. I'm sure they are, but it just seems like there's no crime, there's no political problems, there's just generally abundant, and everybody's well educated. and their basic needs are being taken care of by the government. Sounds good? One, two. Oh, wow. So Grace says last time, are you referring to flooding? The last time it was flooding was 1953. My goodness. Since then, we've created the Delta Works to defend from flooding. See, they're so clever. Because there's so many countries, they have the same disasters happening over and over again. And each time they're caught by surprise. You kind of wonder, well, but you know, kind of happens last year as well. You know, did it not occur to you to do something about it? Oh, those clever Dutchies. 3862. Three, 6, 2. Oh wow, there's a documentary about that. Amazing. Yeah, the definition of insanity is that you just repeat the same thing and expect different outcome. You know, if you don't make changes and do something about it, it will happen again. It's just the way it is. But you told that to some governments. They just don't learn. This bit is a little bit tight here. A little maneuvering of the needle. And park. Okay, so the documentaries that goes over a lot of countries in Europe and highlights a lot of cool things happening there. And they had an episode on the Netherlands. Which one is it? What is the title? I love documentaries. If I go on to like BBC iPlayer or Netflix, if I have the subscription, I don't have right now, or Prime Videos, the first section is definitely documentaries. Because I'm a nerd. I just need to know stuff. Not that I know a lot, but I just like information. You know, I have very little interest in drama. Sometimes there's some good ones, but my attention always goes to documentaries first. I might end this one as well, and then I'm going to end it one block below, and I'm going to start removing those crazy end threads. It's one big festival going on here. Look. Look at this. Man. So I'm going to tease them out. one by one and snip them off. They should all be kind of anchored down by now, I'm hoping. Let me just snip these off very carefully because you don't want to cut off the part threads by accident. It could happen if you're not careful. Oh, it's called Europe from Above. Nice one. I'll look it up. I like a spot of documentary from time to time. And that's very often what I watch on YouTube as well. So not like documentary, you know, TV programs, but just any content that's kind of slightly nerdy. That's my thing. Right. Let's see. Let's cut this off. And then anything else, the remaining bits, the poking through, I just tease them down. And it would disappear anyway by the time you stitch it. So, oh, a little bit better. All the party goers, they all gone home. Lovely. Good. A party of can-can dancers. Exactly. Exactly. But this is the end of the show. Time to go home. Much better. Oh, space. A sip of my Coke. And pick up this one. And I'm going to stitch this one. Actually, I'm going to just park. Just be good here. And I'm going to stitch this one below. And then park. Lovely. And I'm going to stitch these ones with part threads here, and then I'm going to show you how many stitches I managed. So this is a fairly confetti area, as it turned out. So this one, I can park it down here. There's one stitch here waiting for me. And I'm really glad I've cleared the party, because otherwise it would be a little bit crazy here. So I'm stitching slightly out of the order, but the threads are already there, so I want to stitch them first. Two stitches here. 1, 2. And then I'm going to pop down here, 2 down, 1 from the right. And then I'm going to just stitch 1 more here. Or maybe 2 more. There's another thread there available. One, two, three, 2 from the left. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. And then 2 more stitches. And the last one for today's session. Beautiful. Right. So let's have a look here. Just tidy up my threads here and zoom out a little bit. So today I've completed this block here, and then this block is about 85% finished. So this is a great method when you're dealing with a lot of confetti here. So, you know, with the bouquets of flowers here, there's going to be a lot of thread changes. So 1 stitch at a time. So let me show you how. Let me show you one more time the mock-up. Some of you might not have seen it in this full glory. There you go. So where I am right now is the upper left. You see that red, maybe it's roses, I'm not sure what flowers they are. That's where I am, with a bit of blue flowers on the right there. And so there's a lot of color changes there, so you know, I'm ready for that. And it's a beautiful design here, and I'm going to show you the number of stitches I have completed. Just give you a more zoom out view here. So today I actually started from three stitches because I had let me just unselect. I had three loose stitches I actually completed before I started today's session. So I've completed 175 stitches. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when there's so much confetti, this is not bad at all. And my progress for the piece is 4.52. Here, see if we can see it here. 4.52. So move forward slightly, little bit at a time. And so I'm going to continue to work on it. You can see there's a little bit, it's filled up a little bit more. So I'm very happy. So that's my progress today. And thank you, Becomary. And definitely take the advice from Grace. Get a free pattern and start from there because they tend to be smaller. And you can see if you like it. So, Becomary asks, how long do pieces like this usually take? That's a $2 million question. It really depends on how many webs you get going there. So, all you guys can chip in. How long do you think this piece is going to take me from this point on? So I started this piece from January sometime, and also bear in mind this is half 10 stitches, meaning that I only need to do one leg in a slanted direction and compare, versus full cross. So in theory, it should be a little bit faster. And also this is a mini piece. Okay, it's Heaven and Earth mini. It's not really mini in normal sense. Oh, Sarah says I usually stitch a regular height in 4 years. You're kidding me? That's fast. Do you just work on a single project, or while you're juggling with other pieces? That makes a lot of difference because there are monogamous stitchers out there. I'm not one of them. They can just focus on one single piece and just charge forward and never look back. So they get to finish some pieces. And not this girl, I like to switch around and do, what I feel like that day. So it might take a little bit longer. But who's counting, right? So the time really depends on how much time, whether you're a single-minded, single project person or, multiple. So there's no definite answer for that. Thank you, Grace. Grace is looking good. And yes, it's a long time. A long time is probably a good answer. And long time can be 4 years or 40 years. Who knows? Sarah says she has 10 webs, but still managed finish 4 Hade. Hade is Heaven and Earth design, just so you know. It's a lingo you have to learn before you enter this world. That's probably one of the first words people learn before they start doing full coverage. So that's a good keyword to pick up. And thank you everybody for your chat today. I've learned so much each and every day from you as usual. So thank you for being here, and also those who are watching maybe in the background doing whatever they do, either stitching or other things. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy this session and the chatter as well, and definitely whenever you're ready, come to join us. And I'm sure I'll be able to learn a lot of things from you guys as well. So thank you everyone. With that, I'm going to say goodnight to you all. This is 11 past 11. Wow, 1111 in London, and which is quite early in my time for me. It's not unusual. I stitch all the way into midnight. So I'm going to get a cup of tea and have some rest as well. And I'll be back tomorrow with another piece. Who knows? It's going to be a surprise to me. what I'm going to stitch, and it's going to be a surprise for you, hopefully. So with that, good night from me from London with love and peace. And nighty night, everyone. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Nighty night. Have a good rest of the Sunday, wherever you are. Night.